What is it with the UK and hypocrisy? Because just last week, people were out here cackling, laughing at America for how they voted. How could they vote for a stupid man? How could they vote for blah, blah, blah? Oh my God, look at the way he is. Meanwhile, pot kettle black. Let's forget Brexit happened. Let's somehow forget about that. Somehow forget about the Conservative Party that we had for 14 years that people actually voted in. The Boots Advent calendar dropped this week, and apparently the Gen Pop, they're in an uproar. Why, you might ask? I personally was very confused when I first heard about it, because I was seeing like, oh, boycott Boots, blah, 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 blah. What's going on? Then I went back to watch the Advent, I said Advent calendar, not Advent calendar, the Christmas advert. What do you reckon the problem was? Why are we boycotting it? Because the complaint was, oh, they're pushing a woke agenda on us. It's no longer, and they love this term, it's no longer traditional British Christmas. They're trying to ruin it. So you know Lady Danbury from Bridgerton, and I promise I'm going somewhere with this. If you've seen the advert, you know that she is the actress who played Lady Danbury. She's the main person in the advert. It's a very fun, cute, like twist on a traditional thing. Like I saw the advert, very cute. Of course, what's the actual problem? I don't know why they can't say things with their chest. Just say that the fact that the main person in the advert is black is your problem. Why can't you just say that? Own the racism. Just own it. But yeah, it's just like, girl, you lot are here judging Americans who voted the way they did. Meanwhile, what's the difference?
I've just seen the new Boots Christmas advert that a lot of people are calling woke nonsense, and here's my take on it. Look, I know that Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus are fictional characters, but should we be allowed to go around just changing their colour? You know, changing their colour from what we know is traditional, from what we kind of expect? I don't think that we should, and it's for that reason that I'm going to be boycotting Coca-Cola products, because as we know, Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus should be wearing green, and this red that we see on the Boots advert and other adverts, it's pandering, isn't it? It's woke nonsense, it's virtue signaling, and it makes me fucking sick.
Hi family, welcome back to the channel. In case you are seeing me for the very first time, my name is Lillian, and I hope you find this kind of content that I'm doing part of something you really enjoy, so that you can be actually tempted to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. To my already existing subscribers, to those ones who keep on coming back and watching more videos that I always put on here, I highly respect you, and I don't take none of you for granted.
Cis-het white men are whinging. About what? A Christmas advert. Seriously. Boots' Christmas advert this year shows a sleeping Father Christmas, while Mrs. Claus, portrayed by Adjoha Ando, who plays Lady Danbury in Bridgerton, organises everything around him. The elves are a cast of diverse women and drag queens, and alongside Mrs. Claus, they prep everything for Christmas. The closing line is Mrs. Claus saying,
"You thought it was all him."
So why are people upset about this? Some reasons I've seen: there was the use of a gender-neutral pronoun.
Oh, the horror.
It's anti-family Christmas. This one baffles me. Are they saying it's anti-family because there's drag queens and an interracial couple? Oh, and Mrs. Claus is black. That seems to be a very big part of the problem people are having, but a lot of people are too afraid to say it. And instead, a lot of people who do mention race when criticising the advert are mentioning the fact that Adjoha Ando called the royal balcony terribly white. Is it not? I'm very confused as to why this would cause an uproar, and for some bizarre reason, people are now calling her racist towards white people for saying that. What the hell? In short, racism, misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia in there as well, and all-round bigotry and ignorance seem to be driving the complaining and the whining over the advert. And some people are even saying they're going to boycott Boots. Because yes, Dave, Boots are really going to miss you coming in once a year to buy your 10-in-1 car and body wash. Really what Boots are doing are telling the truth of a lot of situations where women are doing all of the hard work and heavy lifting behind the scenes, and then men swoop in at the last minute. And they were also rightfully including diversity within their casting of the advert.
I can't believe I'm actually saying this. There has been uproar about a Christmas advert. Boots have released their annual Christmas advert. I would say a lot of the things that I've seen, like the uproar, has come from men. I'm just going to leave that thought with you. The traditional Christmas that we are used to in Mr. and Mrs. Claus is different in this for a few reasons. One of them being that Mrs. Claus is played by a black woman, Adjoa Ando, who is Lady Danbury from Bridgerton, if you have seen it. Absolutely love Bridgerton. People are unhappy because it's not the traditional Christmas. It's fictional. Father Christmas and what we know him as and what we know Mrs. Claus as is fictional. It can be whatever we want it to be in society today. I'm just going to say it bluntly now, and I know I try and like stay on the fence, but I've got to be blunt about this. They are literally masking their racism by describing it as a traditional Christmas. This is the next problem that people have got. Apparently it is woke because the elves are lots of different people. You have women, you have men, you have drag queens, lots of different cultures and different people from different backgrounds. And I think, like, who do people think Boots are selling their products to? Like, their target demographic isn't middle-aged men. It is women, it is gay men, it's drag queens, and it's probably non-binary people. So of course they're going to cater their advert towards that. Is it very, very liberal, the advert? Yes, it is. It just factually is. If you look at an advert from 10 years ago for Christmas versus this one, it's very, very different. It's progressive, it's more now, it's more in the present day. Is that an inherently bad thing? No, I don't think it is personally. I think it's great that we're seeing different representations for different groups of people. Oh, I'm not even mentioned the best bit yet. Why I think people are getting annoyed. This advert is depicting Christmas is completely done by a woman. And then the man wakes up from his nap last minute and swoops in and takes all the credit. Not all men, by the way. I love men. Like, please don't take this wrong. I know a lot of men do a lot of at Christmas, but I think generally as a stereotype, this advert is kind of true. And I think because there's like a bruised ego element in it, it's sort of coming out and then going after every aspect of the advert in itself.
Dear white men that are evidently upset and in absolute uproar that a black female is playing the part of a fictional character that me and you and the rest of the world knows is not fucking real. Upset that you are underrepresented. That was intentional. Newsflash. This was not for you. This was not about you. One of you have ever climbed down a fucking chimney, nor have you ever had a sack full of presents or a sleigh. The only correlation between you and Father Christmas is the pub belly. Try being involved in your own actual Christmas. When was the last time you signed your name to a fucking card for your kids? Because it's normally mummy that does it. Me and you both know. Enlighten me. When was the last time you cooked Christmas dinner? Or do you still sit in that same sweaty, smelly armchair with a can of Stella, scratching those poor excuse that you call balls? These white men are upset that black people keep taking these main character roles. Newsflash, we've always been the main characters, except we've never been given the stage, but the stage is now ours and we're taking over, and you're gonna see a lot fucking more of us. I hate to break it to you, we're not going nowhere.
When are you as a man even stepping foot into Boots in the first place? This doesn't impact you in any way. You're saying, oh, I'm never going to shop at Boots again. You were never shopping at Boots in the first place. If I see one more video about a man complaining about the Boots Christmas advert, I am literally going to spiral. Literally the only people who I've seen have a negative opinion about that Christmas advert is men. I genuinely believe that that is one of my favourite Christmas adverts that I have seen this year so far, and that is genuinely because I feel like it's one of the most realistic Christmas adverts that we've seen. All this time, Christmas is advertised as a celebration where Santa Claus delivers the presents, the elves are the ones who prepare it all. Common theme, these are all men who are doing this. I'm not saying that men don't help in the festive season, but for the vast majority of households, or at least speaking for my own, I would say it is majority of the time the women who are doing all of these things. It is the women who are buying the presents, the women are the ones wrapping. I'm sure if you asked any man to wrap a present right now, he would struggle so badly to even make it look remotely presentable. Like, I'm pretty sure every Christmas when I'm opening presents from Father Christmas, my dad is also finding out what Father Christmas got me for the first time, and he is completely unaware of what gifts that I'm going to be receiving. I thoroughly enjoyed the advert because I felt like for the first time women were actually getting some recognition. And it's really funny how the only people complaining about it are the ones who probably just sit on the sofa during Christmas waiting for all of the women to cook them the Christmas dinner and get everything ready for them. What makes it 10 times worse is the fact that when are you as a man even stepping foot into Boots in the first place? This doesn't impact you in any way. You're saying, oh, I'm never going to shop at Boots again. You were never shopping at Boots in the first place, darling. You were never there in the first place. Like, I have no idea
why there are so many old men on this app getting so frustrated at the fact that we're not giving all of the credit to the man in the red suit, and actually recognizing the efforts of the many women that work tirelessly, not only on Christmas Day, but leading up to it and afterwards.
People are upset about the Boots Christmas ad. Jordan told me about this and I went to watch it thinking there would be something horrific. And I know why people are upset about the Boots Christmas advert. Straight white men are upset about the Boots Christmas advert because it features a black Mrs. Claus, because it features gay people, because it features, I think there's a drag queen in there. I mean, and it insinuates that actually it's Mrs. Claus who does all the work and then Santa just goes out and delivers the presents. Now, we all know that it is women 99% of the time who do everything for Christmas. And then the men, the dads, they get the credit. When we all know who was the one who's stressed out just before Christmas. Is it the men? No, it is us ladies. We do all the work at Christmas. So I think that this advert was completely on point, and I also love the diversity in the advert and a great choice of woman to play Mrs. Claus. I absolutely loved it, but then we know I was definitely going to love it all the time. Have you seen it? What do you think? Is it worth getting upset about? It's a Christmas ad.